Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about, is Earth2 a good investment? Is Earth2 worth your money? And is it better to invest in now, whilst there's quite a bit of uncertainty still, or perhaps hold or keep on to that money, use it for other things and perhaps invest later? Now, I've come across this article, which is pretty good. It goes into depth or into detail whether or not Earth2 is a good investment. And it also compares it to crypto, so the likes of Bitcoin and Ether. So I want to get to the main points. He's just kind of explaining what Earth2 is. The most valuable virtual goods are the ones that are rare. Now, I feel like what he means with this statement is that Earth2 is pretty rare, guys. Like just like Bitcoin and Ether, like when they were made or when they were like released publicly, not too many people. Well, I should say the main mass or the main general public didn't know what it was. I think there's a famous quote. I can't remember who says it, but it's like if your taxi driver's telling you to buy a stock or a share of a company, it's probably too late to buy him. Now, if you guys were early adopters, or if you're watching this video, you probably are. If you're not, then I still consider it pretty early. We are, people that got in at 10 cents or even $1 or $2 right now. It's not so much here where it goes into the rarity of a tile and what determines the price of the tile. So here it says what determines the price of a tile, the number of available tiles in a region. For example, you're going to have like large countries such as China. So there's going to be an abundance of tiles, whereas smaller countries such as like Japan, Taiwan, there's going to be a limited number of tiles. Number two, the number of active trades in that same region. So, for example, a country such as like America, the UK, they're probably experiencing quite frequent active trades. So that's going to bolster up their value. Whereas maybe a country such as Yemen, maybe a country that not too many people know about, is probably going to get less frequent trades in that country, so that's going to drive its value a bit more down. But I think if this is a determining factor of the value, I think as the game or the website or the platform, all three, progress in the future, depending on how well the developers are able to, what phase 2 is going to be like, the likelihood of a lot of investors such as like Google, Facebook, the CEO of E2 did talk about meeting with some billionaires, how well that's going to go, and how well the market is going to go potentially. So people are going to be willing to buy in these countries that not too many, not the main, the UK, the European, US. People are willing to buy in, countries that not too many people heard of, South Sudan, Yemen, these kind of countries. The amount of available tiles in the country, yeah, and the market value at which tiles are traded, marketplace. Value of a tile is one thing, but the value of the platform of the game itself is going to be determined by, how how well they're able to develop these next phases of the game. If you guys don't know, we're currently on phase 1. Phase 2 is said to be announced soon, hopefully. I don't know what's going on with that, and then obviously we've got phase 3, which is potentially a VR game. I'm a big believer that VR is the future, which is why I was gung-ho at the beginning of this game, because I see the potential with VR gaming. Like if you guys look at the Oculus, what Facebook are doing with Oculus, they've got the Quest 2 out now. A bunch of people saying how like crazy it is that how crazy like VR's already come so far and the market is just growing. Here, is it too late to invest in Earth2 tiles? Earth2 is more than a mere game. The developers behind Earth2 aim to create a virtual second Earth, but with its own ecosystem and dynamics. The beauty of the concept is that it's based on the actual world we live in. Every tiny piece of land on our planet is up for sale. You can invest in roads, oceans, or the desert. At this stage in the game, it's unclear which part of the planet will be most valuable. That's another point. Like, the developers have hinted that capitals of big city, like you've got London, like these capitals are probably going to be hot zones during the early stages of the game. However, with the likes of mega cities now emerging, such as the Eye of Sahara, Mayhem City and Minima. I don't know if I'm butchering that name probably, sorry guys. But yeah, these mega cities could throw a dent in the plans and disrupt the flow and they could end up being the hot spots in the game. We honestly don't know. So imagine you buy a piece of land in the desert and gold or oil is found on your land. That's another point, guys. Like, there's also going to be resources generated on your land. So although if you can't get a spot or piece of land in a capital city, if you were to go to, like, for example, let's say the deserts or forests or grasslands, those areas are going to be generating resources which will be able to be traded or used to build structures in the future. Here we have now invest now or wait. It's quite simple, really. When you, as I do, believe that Earth 2 is going to be a big thing, I do believe that Earth 2 is going to be a big thing, then get on board now. Land will only get more expensive the more it is sold. Besides, you'll be able to reap the benefits of owning the land in the form of taxes when you have it. That's a good point, guys. The earlier you get in, the more accumulation of LIT you will get, I suppose. LIT is essentially land income tax. So depending on, like, I think it's the number of active trades that are going on with a country. If people are buying land in a country that you own land already, you are going to receive a percentage, or you're going to receive land income tax, which will add up over time, guys. Mine has been adding up here and there. Yeah, at the end of the day, you will have a good trader to make some money on that platform. It's fun to own one tile, maybe your own house, apartment, but that is not going to get you very far. As long as there are sufficient tiles available, it's highly unlikely that someone will want to purchase your single tile. That's another good point, guys. I suggest buying between 20, maybe 120 tiles if you're thinking of making a purchase. I think one tile is too small. 10 tiles is probably too small. I think you want to make sure you've got a nice symmetrical chunk of land, so because when phase 2 rolls out and we're going to start building structures perhaps on our land, you want to make sure you have enough room to actually build things that people are going to want to see, or maybe go to. Or I feel like having larger land that is symmetrical, people are more likely to buy your land opposed to something that's unsymmetrical and quite small, 1 or 2 tiles. I think areas of a high population density and lots of advertising opportunities. Yeah, advertising. I think this is going to be a big income opportunity, guys. The land they're going to start advertising in, or like hotspot popular zones where a lot of foot traffic. They're going to be the areas that are going to be targeted for advertising. So that is a benefit of building or buying land in capitals and mega cities. Thus it makes sense to look at countries with high population density and available tiles class 1 or 2. Again, they have stated. I made a video saying how I didn't think class tiles were crazy important, because they did mention in the FAQ something about it only affects LIT, but now they actually have contradicted that and said in the Discord that they've changed it so classes will be quite valuable depending on the class that you've got. So maybe I'll make another video on that. So class 1 or 2 is highly desirable, guys, I suppose. Crypto Earth2. Here's the ending statement of this article. It says, it is not a question of whether or not you should invest in Earth2 or cryptocurrency. Both investments are highly volatile and it's early days. If you're in it for the money, invest your hard-earned cash in crypto. It's easier to trade cryptocurrency such as Bitcoin and faster. However, one of the positive things about HTTPS, basically Earth2 website, is that you have a virtual good to hang on to. The vibrant community of players and traders will keep that platform going, especially as the next phases are about to begin. It could take some time before we see what real benefits of owning land on Earth 2 are, but are certainly exciting. I don't think you should see this game as an investment, though. It's more of a support for the future of the platform, as the potential to become something more substantial than it is today, and I hope the developers continue to use the early stage investment widely in the development of the second and third phase. Don't invest any money you can't afford to lose. Join in the party. Have fun for seeing your property value rise and rise in the months to come. Props to Remco. I'll leave the link in the description for this article. I think it was very, very useful. I found it useful, so I just wanted to share it with you guys and analyze it a bit. Obviously, you're saying here, yeah, Bitcoin and Ethereum, the likes of those cryptos, have been here a lot longer than Earth2, because Earth2, guys, was like launched a couple months ago, late November, early December, and it's still in its early stages. I mean, like he says, it's a game at the end of the day. Earth2 is going to be a game. We don't know how much money, if there's going to be a lot, maybe a small amount. But I believe that virtual reality is going to be very big in the future. I think the technology with VR headsets already quite there, and they're only getting better. I think it's amazing what we got right now. I think what it needs, what the VR gaming market needs, is a game to tie it all together. Just like Xbox and PlayStation, they've got the iconic Call of Duty and FIFA. I feel like what VR headsets need, or what the VR gaming market needs, is a game to bring it all together. I think that is what it lacks. VR chat kind of got, was quite hyped, but now it's kind of dropped off. I mean, people still play it, but I think we need some like, a gaming franchise, or that one game just to bring everyone together. And like the developers of Earth 2 have said, they want to have games within games. Maybe this will be the portal for which we access all other type of games, just like Ready Player One. Yeah, so if you guys like this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you guys have any ideas for any other videos you want me to make, please leave it in the comments below. Peace.